Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Stephen Gilligan, and I want to just share with you a little bit about who I am, what my journey has been. I could do the traditional intro, give you sort of my professional identity. I was born and raised in San Francisco, came of age in the late 60s, went to an all-boys Jesuit high school, uh, went to University of California at Santa Cruz. I did my bachelor's in humanistic psychology. Then I went over the hill to Stanford University, spent 5 years there doing my doctorate in research psychology. And along the way, I became a main student of the great, I would say, shaman, psychiatrist, healer of the 20th century, Milton Erickson. So for the first part of my career, I was really teaching Ericksonian stuff. Then my dad died, my daughter was born, my connection with Erickson had to change. I developed something called self-relations as represented in a book called The Courage to Love. And then I thought that it became a little bit too internal. So I collaborated with my old university mate, Robert Dilts, and we developed something called generative change and generative coaching. So now I think partly in response to the sort of cataclysmic changes that have been occurring in the last couple of years, I've evolved something called creative mind, which builds on all those, but really emphasizes the need for a deeper connection to community, to ancestors, to multiple people, also a deep, deep connection to nature, to Gaia, to Mother Earth, not only for our happiness, but also for our survival. On this path, like each of us, I've gone through a lot of things. I think I was really in a deep trance, if you would call it that, as a kid, partly because of just who I am, but partly growing up in a very violent home with a lot of alcoholism. It taught me a lot about how to go into other worlds. I'm Irish Catholic. There's a lot of depression and alcoholism in my family and in my culture. I went through my period, sex, drugs, rock and roll, my relationship to all of that, and trying to find my own sort of unwounded, untraumatized, healed self in all of that. I've been married twice. I have a 28-year-old daughter. I'm obviously this white guy who grew up in a white suburb in America. I mention all of that because it's really important, I believe, if we're going to live creatively and authentically and fully, that we have a connection to each of the many, many, many parts of our soul, our ancestors, our being, where we are locally, so that we can be, in a deeper sense, a unique part of the large world. So in the creative mind work, we're really looking to invite every part of a person's identity, every part, and to see that it's a jewel. It's a sparkling jewel that only when we hold it and shine it and let its light shine, then we find peace, then we find happiness, then we find positive growth, then we find a world that works for everybody. So that's a little bit about who I am. I hope that you come to the Creative Mind community so that you can share who you are as part of our creative community. Bye for now.